industry, and rejection happens all the time. But the way you handle it can make all the difference in the world if you get a call back for an audition, or if you get a second chance at getting hired for a job. Because just because you're rejected doesn't mean that you aren't wanted. A lot of times in the business, rejection is not personal. It's about you're just not the right person for this job, genre, sales, product at this time. Doesn't mean you're not right down the road. Or maybe there's someone more right. You know, when I got my very first job at G4, I originally was not hired. They hired some camera guy's girlfriend. She flaked out, and I got the job because I still made a good impression and I wasn't rude upon rejection. But if you are rude when you are rejected, people will never work with you again. And I have a couple stories for you. One actually happened this morning. Yeah, I really hope this guy isn't here. Someone approached one of our, it was not you. A guy approached one of our celebrity guests and asked him to come join him at a panel. And the guest said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, thank you, but I have something going on at this time and I can't do it." And the proper response would be, "Oh, okay, thank you for, for consideration, or thanks anyway." But this guy was just like, and he was like, "Oh, okay." Like, no one wants to work with that. No one wants to work with someone sulky. And I had some huge drama happen to me at work. I was working with a viewer on a side project, and the stuff that he sent to me, it just was not good enough to go on TV. And I sent him this very nice rejection letter. I said, "I'm really sorry. It doesn't look good enough. I know there's some audio and lighting problems." And I specifically said to him in this email, "Yeah, I know it didn't work out this time, but he was super enthusiastic. He worked his butt off, and we appreciated that." And I said, "If you would like to do something else, let me know and we'll work it out." This guy flew off the handle, trashed me and my boss on Twitter, trashed the company, and just, I've never seen such a polite letter of rage. It was the most professionally written nerd rage I've ever seen. But then he wrote another email to the company and threw me under the bus, even though the thing was I was trying to be nice to him and not tell him that his work sucked, but it did. And yet he just flew off the handle and was just really rude. And the thing is, had he been polite and just said, "Oh gosh, are you sure there isn't anything we can do? Is there something else I can do for you?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, here you go. It doesn't mean I don't want to work with you, but if you're going to go nuts, go away. I don't want to work with you." Nobody wants to work with someone like that. And if you're an actor, you're not going to get all the roles. It happens. You move on and you go to the next one. Any voice actor in this industry will tell you, do an audition and then let it go. Because either you'll get it or you won't. Move on. Same with getting cast in a movie. If you are a writer and you want to get published, you will get rejected a lot. Ooh, that reminds me of something else I want to say. You will get rejected a lot. It happens. In fact, there's this one writer. She was extremely broke, never had anything published before. She submitted her novel to, I think, 23 different publishers before someone finally took her on, and now Harry Potter is the biggest book franchise like there is. Be patient. Just because you're not right for one company or one person or one incident does not mean you won't be right later. And it's so hard to take rejection. You have every right to be upset if you're rejected, but keep it to yourself. Go home, cry, punch a pillow, get mad, keep it to yourself. Tell your friends, whine to your friends. Your friends are there for you. They will listen to you if you're feeling bad. Don't do it to the company. Don't do it to the public, because again, they might want you later. Just have a positive attitude about it and be polite, and people will want to work with you. Professional first, then second. Keep telling you this. All right, so before we move on, there was another concept that I wanted to bring up, and that was on, what's the term I'm looking for? Solicited materials. All right, so let's say you have an idea. You have an idea for a TV show. You have an idea for a book. You have an idea for some kind of pitch, an idea, and you want to send it to a company. If you write down everything you're going to do and post it on a forum, or you send them a letter or something, no one's going to read it. And there's a reason for it. It's a very good reason. Again, it's nothing personal. You'll often get a statement back that says, "We do not accept unsolicited materials." And basically what it means is that you have to have permission to send them materials. If you're a writer or an actor, usually you have an agent working for you. Except in manga. Apparently manga, nobody works with agents. But you can't just cold send someone materials, especially your original works. And here's why. Let's say I have an idea for a game show XYZ, and I think it's the greatest thing in the world. And I submit it to a company, and the company thinks that it's the greatest thing in the world. But if I send it to them unsolicited, they could potentially steal my idea and make lots of money for it. And then I can prove that I came up with that idea and sue them for a lot of money. Nobody wants that. It leads to massive lawsuits. It's bad for the company. It makes them look bad. So what you need to do is, if you're a writer, get an agent. Ask questions. All those fields, even if you don't have an agent, write them a letter and say, hi, I have an idea. May I please submit my idea to you? Just ask permission. That's really all you need to do. Again, don't ever post it in a forum because people won't even look at it. People in the entertainment industry, they won't even read the first paragraph because we could potentially get sued if we do. So it's not that we don't like you, it's not that we don't want to hear your idea. A lot of publishing companies will read every submission they have, but you have to do it the right way. And whether you're an actor, whether you're a writer, whether you're a journalist, whatever you're doing, the best way to learn how to appropriately approach someone in the company is ask someone who's in it. We have, if you want to be a voice actor, we have voice actors right here at Anime Expo. They're all very friendly. I've met them. You can ask them. Say, hey, what's the appropriate way to go about getting an agent? What's the appropriate way to submit for an audition? How do I build my resume? Just ask people who are there and doing it, and you will learn things. I'm actually attempting to write a manga, believe it or not. I can't draw, so don't worry, I have an artist for that. But I don't know anything about publishing. Luckily, my sister works for a literary agency, although she doesn't do comic books, so she can't help me. But she knows stuff about how to approach the industry. And I say, should I include this on my website? Should I call them? Should I email them? She said, no, don't do that, don't do this. Ask someone who is in your field, how did you do it? How did you get there? What should I not do? I'm teaching you guys things from my mistakes. I tried to publish a book when I was like 14, it was terrible. But I sent out my manuscript to people just all willy-nilly, and they're like, we do not accept unsolicited materials. I didn't understand this concept when I was 14, but hopefully you will now that you've heard me out. All right, let's move on to my favorite topic of the whole lecture, and that's celebrities. I love them. Over the last couple years, I've actually met a lot of celebrities. I've met all our goes. I met Vic Mignogna last night. I had dinner with Taliesin Jaffe. I did stuff with Kyle Hebert today. I interviewed Seth Green and Parvez China and Danny Pudi and Alison Brie. I got to meet Nobuo Uematsu once. That was so cool. There's a funny story about coffee, but it's not appropriate for this lecture. Well, it's not appropriate, it's just irrelevant. But I've met celebrities, and so I'd love to tell you about them. Number one rule, don't freak out. If you're going to freak out, do it inside. I had a moment last night. I'm sitting there with Taliesin, and he's chatting with Vic Mignogna, and I'm having this moment of, I'm sitting at a table with Vic Mignogna and Taliesin Jaffe. Even though I've known Taliesin for years. But keep it inside. And there's a time and a place to be a fan. Usually this is a good place. Don't flip out on them. And here's the thing to know about celebrities. Believe it or not, they're all human beings. Well, except maybe Taliesin, I'm still trying to figure them out. But they're humans. They have lives outside of the business. You're not necessarily part of that, and you don't necessarily need to be part of that. If they welcome you into their lives, great. I originally met Taliesin at a radio play that had nothing to do with anime, and then we became buddies. But they don't necessarily want you in their personal lives, so please respect that. That's all they ask. And a lot of these people are super nice as long as you're polite to them. Just as you're going to be polite and respectful, you better be, to everyone in the industry, show them the same courtesy. Because not only are they having to deal with you, they're dealing with you times 10,000. A lot of you, a lot of people. Just be friendly, be courteous. And the thing is, celebrities, everyone's different in their own way. Who here is like really confident and has no problems talking to strangers? couple of you. Okay, who here is like me and strangers freak you out and you're really shy? You. Come up here, please. Okay, I need you. I need you. Come here. Carly? Carly, that's my sister's name. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of a role-playing game for you. So, it's not that kind of role-playing. There are no D20s. Alright, so let's pretend that Carly is a big, hotshot voice actress. She's super famous. She's done 100 different voice acting stuff. She's a big star. And let's pretend that I'm a fan. Now, I'm going to say the same phrase to her in 2 different ways. And just watch her reaction. Oh my God, Carly, I'm such a huge fan of yours! How did that make you feel? Awkward? Maybe like I have no self-control? Yeah. Yeah, she's like, she's all tense. Look at her, see her body with her body language. It's shutting off. This is like shutting off, tell me. Oh, by the way, if you ever see a celebrity do this, that means you need to back off. Because they're signaling to someone that they need help. It's true. It's like a little industry trick. So if you see that, maybe you should back off. All right, so we're going to do the same exercise, but I'm going to say the exact same thing to her, but in a completely different way. Oh, Carly, I'm such a huge fan of yours. Thank you. She said thank you. You see that? This is the second time it happened. So how did that make you feel that time? Respected. Respected, yeah, like maybe appreciate it. Yeah. All right, Carly, thank you so much. You can I'm done with there. Huge difference. I said the exact same thing to her in 2 different ways. I mean, you wouldn't want someone jumping all over you and crazy and creepy. It's weird. Actually, there's a certain level of appropriateness. Celebrities, a lot of times, okay, ideally, shake hands. Shaking hands is professional, it's friendly, it's appropriate. Not all of them want to hug. If the celebrity hugs you, great. When I interviewed Seth Green, I was expecting to give him a handshake at the end, and he hugged me, and I'm like, oh, okay. Great, let them instigate it. Just let them do it on their own terms. And here's another fail story of my life. Well, it wasn't a fail when it happened. I was like 19 or 20, and I was at Visions Con in Chicago. And I had a couple celebrities there, and one of them was Nick Brendan who played Xander on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I love Buffy. So I'm like, okay, now I'll go get my picture taken with him. And I thought it'd be so cute if I gave him a kiss on the cheek when I was in thank you, that's cute. I was like 19, I figured I could get away with it. But thinking about it, even just a few weeks ago, I'm like, wow, that was really inappropriate of me. Like, if someone came up to me, like if I got my picture taken with someone and they kissed me on the cheek, they might get punched. I've turned down hugging people because they smell funny. It's just let them instigate. If they want to hug you, well, you don't have to let them hug you. We all have our personal space. But let them draw the line. Don't overdo it. Okay, but what if you just want to chat with them? You can chat with them about anything. A great way to get on a celebrity's good side is to compliment them on their work. Women in this business, including me, I have people come in the chat room where people are like, oh my God, you're so hot, or so-and-so is so hot. I'm like, okay, thanks, tell me something I don't know. But it's not. Shut up, I can do that, I'm wearing makeup. But it doesn't mean anything to a person when you're like, oh God, you're hot. But when you compliment someone on what they do and say, hey, I really appreciate your work. I enjoy you. Thank you for making me laugh. Thank you for doing this character and bringing them to life and making it really enjoyable to listen to. Or, whatever it is they do. When you show that you appreciate their work, that's always a big bonus because a lot of times there's so much hate on the internet. There's so much whining that when you say something nice, it means something to us. It really does. But here's a nice little trick. Another way to get on anyone's good side. I do this with service people, bus drivers, people checking out at the grocery line. Compliment them on their glasses if they're wearing them. Because that reflects your sense of style. Glasses, nail polish, piece of jewelry, just any little thing. Oh, I love your glasses, those are so cute. And it just brightens their day. Everyone loves that. Okay, and now, another thing you want to get on the celebrity's good side. This happened to me yesterday. And I really hope whoever did this to me isn't in the room. So yesterday I was coming into the hotel, and I was going down an escalator, and I had these